Well, yesterday, a Wall Street Journal article began this way, quote, "The economic expansion, already the worst on record since World War II, is weaker than previously thought, according to revised data," close quote. You heard correctly, weaker than previously thought. This is Larry Elder with an Elder Minute.
The best show in the world is Two Scorpions in a Brandy Glass. I'm Barry Farber. It is nice when you call and say, "Oh, Mr. Farber, I agree with you," but that really gets us nowhere. I want your enmity, hostility. I want your questions. Give me a call right here on the Barry Farber Show. Weekdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Live across America, the PM Show with Mike Horn on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Hey, welcome to the PM Show. This is the weekend edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Glad to have you all with us here. I am Michael Horn. Our cast and crew are assembled here. Scott St. James. Welcome, Scott, to the broadcast.
Always nice to be here.
Always good to have you here. Paul Stern, always a pleasure to have you as our co-host here on the show.
Indeed, an honor.
And we got a great show for you today, too. The legendary radio personality Dick Whittington is going to be with us. Sweet Dick, as he was known, has been known for all these great years. And going to be good to get him back in the fold here and on the air and swapping some stories. So that's a sad thing. Sad note in the news today, I guess famed wrestler Roddy Piper died. He was only 61 years of age. What the heck happened there, Paul Stern?
I think it's called a life of being a professional wrestler. That doesn't exactly do you well.
Puts the old wear and tear on the body. Did you ever meet him, either of you guys? Scott, Paul? Anything?
I never met him, but I did meet Lynn Anderson, who also passed away today.
Wait. Lynn Anderson, the country singer?
Yes. 67 years old.
Oh, I never promised you a rose garden. I love Lynn Anderson.
I beg your pardon?
Lynn Anderson, I never promised you a rose garden. I beg your pardon.
Well, she had a lot.
Rose Garden was the name of the tune.
She had a lot of hits.
She did. And my 101-year-old aunt, Ann Horn, passed away today, and that's sad news for me.
Very sad.
What a wonderful, wonderful woman, and one of the greats in the Horn family, and she will be missed. So this is a kind of historic day. My daddy passed away some years ago yesterday. Is this is this the blue moon or something? What's going on here?
Yeah,
this is two full moons in 1 month.
Not to be left out, I am easing towards the week. This is the week of my father's passing.
See, it's really crazy, isn't it? Roddy Piper passed away in his sleep from cardiac arrest. So he was one of the wrestling icons, a good-looking guy, too. Still looking in good shape, wasn't he? He was around. He was squared off against some of the biggest stars in there. Always had that kilt. Didn't he have that kilt that he would wear in there?
The bagpipe?
Back in WrestleMania 1, he was back there in 1985. He squared off against Hulk Hogan. They later became good friends, he and the Hulkster, and anyway, Hulk said, quoting now, "I'm devastated at this news. Roz was a good friend as well as a client and one of the most generous, sincere, and authentic people I've ever known. This is a true loss to us all." So apparently, Roddy had been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma back in 2006, but in November last year, they said he was cancer-free. So, and they said he was cancer-free at the time of his death. So a sad note for those of you that are wrestling fans of Hot Rod, Roddy Piper. I used to watch him all the time with my daughter. We would watch wrestling, professional wrestling. You were a big viewer of that as well, Paul.
Very big. A lot of listeners across the country would watch Roddy Piper before he became famous with the WWF. They would watch him on Spanish television because he would wrestle a lot in the Lucha Libre. And so he kind of...
Was he one of the first Lucha Libre guys?
Well, he made a name for himself, not only within the American community, but within the Spanish-speaking community as well.
I was in Mexico one time, and you know how you go to some of those, like in Cabo, you go down to the beach, and they have little trinket guys that are selling stuff, and they're trying to sell you sterling silver, and it's just plated by about like a tiny hundredth of an inch of silver on there. One of the things they were selling were Lucha Libre wrestling masks, and I bought one. And then I thought, I wonder how many people have tried this out in Mexico. So I gave it to my nephew, and I think he still wears it to this day. The first time he put it on, I think it was a little hard getting it off the old face. I think there's a Twilight Zone episode that kind of mimics that one. Did you ever do that, Scott? Did you ever put on one of those Lucha Libre masks and go as the Masked Marvel?
No, I never did that. But I'll tell
Sure,
you what,
Scott St. James.
that guy you're talking about, though, he had a terrific career, though, and obviously
Hot rod.
He was a big fighter too, obviously, because he could put up all that stuff, and you know, he had a good life.
My Aunt Ann Horn had a great career too, and she could really cook some of the great foods. I'm telling you, going to her house for dinner was always a wonder. Better than going to Hot Rod's house, I'll tell you.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, Staples guy. I have to get my kids ready for back to school.
Staples has tons of deals, like one subject notebooks for just 25 cents. So they'll be 110% ready.
Wait a minute. That's 10% more ready than 100% ready.
That's right.
Yeah, I was a math major.
I could tell.
Make low prices happen. Make 110% ready happen. Staples. Make more happen. One subject notebooks are just 25 cents each, all season long.
Offer valid in store only while supplies last. Limit 30 per customer. Ends 9/12/15.
Homeowners, there's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home and loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Call now. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
PM show nationwide, coast to coast, CRN Digital Talk Radio, the weekend edition. I'm Michael Horn, along with the cast of helpers here in the studio. The legendary Scott St. James, by way of, you worked St. Louis, Los Angeles, television, radio. What other markets did you work?
Started off in San Jose, Hartford, St. Louis.
You worked Ralph's and
LA.
Vaughn's, I believe, and some of those as well, too. Some of those
four cities.
Hagen's, I think you worked on the East Coast. A lot of the great markets. That's the markets I worked at. I worked at Rite Aid and Save-On years ago. Paul, how about you? What markets did you go work?
Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly. It's good. Anyway, I started out as a young kid, very green behind the ears, never knowing much about radio, and one day happened to stumble into a broadcast radio studio where I was told one of the legends of modern times was broadcasting. It was great to see Al Lohman, but I went to the next studio where I peered into and found a guy by the name of Dick Whittington. He was known as Sweet Dick at that time, one of the legendary record players of all time. He would play hits one right after the other. He'd count them down from 100 down to number one in a 3-hour show, which is still to this day a record that will never be broken. Never talking, just playing the music and saying just little pieces and words that would add something together. I watched in amazement. And I learned the trade. I studied, and one day worked up the courage to actually talk to Mr. Dick Whittington. And I went and I said, Mr. Dick Whittington, I'd like to watch you and emulate everything you do. And he looked me straight in the eye and he said, get the hell out of the studio, kid. You're bothering me. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to that, I am who I am today. Here is the legendary Sweet Dick Whittington. You taught me that, Sweet Dick. You actually you taught that stream of consciousness radio that you always do. Welcome, you legendary, wonderful person. It's good to have you back on the show.
That's true. And how are you, my friend?
I am very good. Say hi to Scott St. James and to Paul Stern. They're here. I couldn't keep them out of the studio.
Oh, well,
right.
I've met Scott on one occasion. Very nice guy. Taller than I am and has more hair, so I wasn't terribly fond of him. And if I ever see him again, I'll kill him.
Sweet Dick!
We talked about all the great radio markets, and you are a legend in the radio biz.
Oh, yes. I made myself a legend. No one else approves of that, but yes, I am a legend.
And that's allowable in this business. You can call yourself a legend, and then pretty soon everybody else said, I think the guy's a legend. And that's it.
That's the truth.
But, and in the last couple of weeks, we've had Don Barrett here, and he can't make it in today to do the show. And we've been wanting to take these Friday shows and kind of do some sort of a background and things of different people. And for you were actually one of the great leaders in what's missing from talk radio today. And what I call it is entertainment talk radio. Everybody's doing this political talk. You would get some political stuff out, but it was always buried within good fun. You were an entertainer. That was the key. What's wrong with radio these days?
Well, Michael, that's for you to let me do me a favor here, babes. my washing machine is making much more sense than I'm making, and I just want to close the door. Is that all right?
This is right. You know what? Sweet Dick Whittington is actually broadcasting from the Maytag Equipment Center somewhere. I don't know where. Yeah, just slam the door. Go ahead. I don't care.
I'll be right.
He'll be right back.
5 yards away.
5 yards away. He'll be right.
In the business, they call this product placement.
The Maytag repairman actually kept the door open. It's a warm day where Sweet Dick is, and he wants to get a full flow of air and everything.
Well, your washing machine is more entertaining than you are.
Wait a minute.
You do the one thing you can only do, and that's close the door.
We actually spent time to get you booked for the show, and you decided washing clothes was as important as this interview.
I was waiting for you, Michael. I should, before we go any further, I should do a prologue here in stating a few things, because I'm a very private man, as you know.
I know.
And there are just certain things I won't talk about, so let me just give you this brief rundown, and then we won't talk about that, and we can talk about anything else, okay?
The floor is yours. It's all yours, Sweet Dick
I
Whittington. Go
appreciate
ahead.
it. First of all, I will not talk about Bill Cosby. I mean, it's too bad that Bill didn't take one of those Quaaludes himself. He's justified his actions, as we know, with now 35 women by saying that, as Dr. Cliff Huxtable, he was a gynecologist, and incidentally, as we were speaking, a 36th woman has come out and said that she also was, not exactly raped by Bill Cosby. Carolyn, actually, I shouldn't even give her name. I tell you what I'll do. Besides, I lost my place.
That's okay. That's quite okay. This is another woman has come out. I know they come out every single minute.
They do. Caitlyn, that's who it was. It's Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, thank you.
And I will not comment on Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Wes Jenner, if you prefer. Yesterday, as you know, she traded in her Olympic gold medal for a mother-of-pearl necklace. So I won't talk about that. That's too easy. I don't want to talk about Donald Trump trying to cross over the Mexican border. Last night he was caught by Mexican border guards. They sent the Donald back but kept his hair as a hideout for El Chapo. I thought that was a pretty good line.
That's a great line, and you're getting some snappers. Give it one more time. Please go for it. Go for it once more.
Nor will I talk about the fact that President Obama brought back from his recent trip to Kenya Donald Trump's birth certificate. We'll not talk of that. Trump might run, as you know, as a third party, the Trumpet Party.
Yes.
That was weak, but I couldn't help it.
That's good. That's good.
I will not speak of the Republican presidential candidate, Mike Huckabee, Huckleberry Finn, who announced the Obama-Iran deal was worse than the ovens of Auschwitz.
Yes, he
said, if you remember, I have been to the ovens, which is not exactly Martin Luther King saying, I have been to the mountains.
That's true. That's very true.
Good luck, Mike.
Yeah, good.
I won't touch the sad news that the Republican Party has announced that they are dropping out of the 2016 election. It seems they have so many people announced for president that there'll be no one left to vote. I will not talk about California's drought, nor the fact that Governor Jerry Brown has proudly announced that he hasn't flushed his toilet since the drought began 4 years ago.
I actually believe that one. I really do.
I do, too, come to think of it.
Yeah, he's got a brick in there, too, I think. I think that's what they call it.
That's it, Mike. I mean, now go and interview Scott.
Yeah,
Scott
don't know.
Scott. I want to know more about Scott.
Scott is sitting here with his mouth agape and just listening to these. You didn't, I like Dick. He comes on and he tells you what he's not going to talk about.
I'll tell you what. I've been a fan of this guy quietly for many years.
That's the problem. He wants you to be a little more public about it.
Well, I'm going to be saying something right now. And that is that I've had the privilege over a lot of years being around a lot of very, very big people in the business, both in general managers and also big time people.
Which begs the question: what the hell are you doing on this show right now?
Scott, I got to thank you. Really, you're saying too much about me. Too much.
Thank you.
No, but I'm just saying that I'm just honored to be talking to this guy right now, because I'm real picky about this kind of stuff. It's the way my deal's always been. I do it my way. Well, I'll tell you what. I have a great deal of respect for this man.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
We'd let Dick respond, but he has to go ahead and put his clothes in the air dry right now, because in the delicate cycle. Sweet Dick, can you hang out with us, Dick Whittington? We love having you here on the show.
Yeah, you're right, because the cycle has ended, and I will put the clothes into the dryer.
Thank you.
Scott, I want to say before you take
okay,
this
hold on. We got a quick break.
Can I just say one thing?
No.
I want to thank Scott very much, and I mean that very much.
You're welcome.
Very, very, very
got it
much.
in. He's still got it. He's got it. CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was the location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Are you nearing eligibility for Medicare benefits? Then you know now is an important time in your life. Medicare benefits can be a complicated puzzle. You don't want to overpay for your Medicare coverage or get the wrong plan. Let Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. With one free phone call, a licensed insurance agent will help you select a Medicare plan that's right for you and your budget. If you're becoming eligible for Medicare, call today and learn how to get the most out of your benefits.
800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA or assumed name of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is an authorized insurance agency in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service and product availability varies by state.
Call 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Exciting time of the year, the summertime here, as we mentioned. We talked about some of the sad notes in the news, people passing, but there's a lot of activity in the summertime. People, birthdays, and that kind of a thing. And our guest today, welcome back here to the PM Show. I'm Michael Horn, along with Scott St. James and Paul Stern, is my buddy Sweet Dick Whittington, one of the all-time great talents in radio and television. And we'll get into the TV side in a little bit here, but you had a birthday.
Mike?
Yes.
Let me ask you, Paul Stern. Now I'm trying to go back and remember. How do I know him, or do I know him? Do I want to know him?
Paul has been here for how many years? Have you been at CRN? Paul Stern is the vice president of operations and talent here on the network.
Probably, I've been here about since the time that Dick was doing that overnight show over at about the same time. So it goes back a ways.
Oh, no, you did an overnight show, a very good one at AM 870, as I recall, in Los Angeles.
Nobody ever heard that. Actually, I'm very proud of that. I did some things all night that maybe 10 people heard, but I did some things that I was very proud of because I just didn't give a damn, and besides, the Beatles left me alone, and yes.
Let me ask you a question about that, Sweet Dick. As a radio personality, because radio has changed and people not, I feel, as entertaining as they used to be, and that's because there's a lot of pressure to be whatever they tell you have to be. And when you work at a station where they keep telling you, do this, do that, talk local, don't talk national, do this, really when you get to a place when you got to AM 870 and you said you didn't give a damn, all of a sudden the show sounds better because the pressure's gone. Am I right?
Yeah. And I was on my way down, and I knew it.
What does that mean? You always thought that you were on your way down. You were one of the most sensitive people I have known, one of the most talented, if not the most talented, but always sensitive to what others think. And it's like, I liken you to, people learn by listening to your show, including, I would think, the legendary Howard Stern, because he says a lot, but yet when he's off the air, people say he's just an everyday kind of guy. I mean, have you ever met Howard Stern? Is that the kind of guy that he is?
No, I haven't. I will say I'm a fan. I never thought that he needed to deal with the scatological and things that he was, but he knew what he was doing. He's a very, very intelligent man, and has made a career out of something that none of us would have ever guessed could have possibly happened. So I have a great respect, a great admiration for him and his intelligence.
And that's why he's one of the great judges on America's Got Talent. Stephen Scott St. James is smiling at that one. Come on.
But I have to add to this too that he was smart enough to back off on that stuff, and that's why he's doing that stuff on NBC and all these other things. I mean,
indeed,
he is he's a big deal. So, Sweet Dick, you're right. I mean, he figured out a lot of stuff and did a lot of stuff, but he was also smart enough to back off to allow him to go even higher.
Yes. A mistake that many of us at the local level, unfortunately, we didn't learn. But no, I really have respect. This is Scott, right?
Yeah.
Scott, I just want to, because I think I was cut off there. Michael has done that to me all my life. I just want to thank you for that compliment. That means a great deal to me. What Mike says about me, I could care less. But as far as you're concerned, that means a great deal to me. Thank you.
Well, I meant it. I wouldn't have bothered with it if I didn't mean it. And so I did mean it. I do mean it, and I will always, that's just the way it is. If you're not any good, I'm not going to say anything about it. But if you are, and there aren't that many, and a guy like you, I'm going to tell you. And so whether you believe me or not, but I do, man. And you're just one of those guys who was a big deal, and people who weren't aware of that, they were stupid.
There you go. I guess Scott is kind of, and the way Scott delivers it, it's kind of that newsman and sports thing.
Michael,
yes?
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
I like him better than I like you.
Thank you. Well, that's always true. You've said that. Let me ask you gentlemen a question, because we have you here, Scott. We have you here, Sweet Dick Whittington. Nowadays people do a podcast. They say, I want to be in radio. They can do it. Paul, I want to ask you the same thing. Where did you get your first start? What was the first radio gig that you had, Sweet Dick?
It was WVCH, the voice of Chester, Pennsylvania.
And what did you, was it music, talk, what was it?
Oh, at that time it was a daytimer. That's about 40 miles, no, not that much, about 25 miles outside of Philadelphia. And my mentor there was a guy who was just starting too, and that was Joe Pine.
Oh, wow.
And I was assigned to Joe Pine because I swallowed my L's. And you can't do that if you are in the Philadelphia area. Very tough word for me. I had trouble with my T's, my D's, and my L's.
What do you mean by swallowing your L's? What is that? What do you mean?
L, pronouncing it correct. Tom Brokaw. I mean, as great as Tom Brokaw is and was, certainly, if you noticed in his speech patterns, and Scott will know this, of course, he swallowed his L's. In other words, the the tongue did not hit the top of your tooth bridge. And so I was doing that, and Joe used to make me walk around the block just saying Philadelphia, Philadelphia, Philadelphia over and over again.
Hang on, we're going to say Philadelphia a few times over and over again and be back with Sweet Dick Whittington.
This is great.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinns.com.
Medical bills can add up, but you may be able to pay less. Ask your doctor for a discount. According to the AARP Bulletin, over 60% of those who do get a yes. Check your medical bills. 8 out of 10 contain errors. Lowering how much you pay for meds is possible too. If you're taking a brand name drug, check the drug maker's website. Sometimes it offers coupons or discount cards. My husband got one med for 50% less. Next, enroll in your employer's flexible spending account. Then you can pay eligible out-of-pocket health care expenses with pre-tax dollars, lowering what you owe on tax day. Keep track of all medical expenses. In a year when things really add up, itemize. You may lower your taxes this way. Call your doctors and pharmacy if you need to get totals you paid for the year. For more ways to save, check out the AARP Bulletin online at aarp.org. I'm Aileen Ellis. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP.
Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you can make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? Yes! According to the U.S. Census Bureau, you can make almost twice as much. Going back to college is now easier than ever. There are select online colleges that provide laptops to their students. In fact, there are thousands of college programs on your laptop. You can go to college anywhere and everywhere right from a laptop. Call My College Laptop and you can find hundreds of programs from accredited colleges and universities nationwide. Start a new career in law enforcement, business, information technology, healthcare, and hundreds of others. Call My College Laptop to find an online college that will provide you with a laptop. In no time at all, you can double your earning potential. Double your earning potential. Call now. 1-800-582-7531. That's 800-582-7531. 800-582-7531.
Hi, welcome to Staples. What can I help you find today?
Yeah, hi. I need a new printer. Mine's way too slow.
Perfect timing. This week we've got amazing deals on all regularly priced HP printers in the store. Up to 50% off.
Wow, you're a lifesaver.
That's not all. All HP ink is buy one and get the second half off this week.
Wow, must be my lucky day.
It's your lucky week, but only this week.
Make big savings happen. Make better printing happen. Staples. Make more happen.
Offers end 8/1/15. 50% discount excludes HP toner and limit 2 per customer. May not be combined with other offers while supplies last. See store or staples.com for details.
Hi, this is Fred Dreyer. Join me and Michael Horn on the PM Show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern here on CRN Digital Talk. We talk about things in the sports world nobody else does. So listen in to me and Mike at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk. And go to crntalk.com for more information on other show times. And don't forget to take us with you by downloading the CRN app on the App Store.
PM Show Weekend Edition. On Fridays, we love to get together with some of the legends of broadcasting, entertainment, and we have one of the radio and television outstanding legends, Mr. Dick Whittington, Sweet Dick Whittington. First job back at WVCH. Joe Pine helped him not swallow his L's by him saying Philadelphia. And good story. Scott St. James, where was your first radio gig?
San Jose. Michael Hunter was my program director. He hired me, He hired me, and I was, I became a top 40 guy. It's, it's midday at first, and then became the afternoon guy. And thank you, Michael Hunter. Michael left, and then came out here and went to KFI, and then to a couple other stations here. From there, then I went to a couple of other stations, and that was it. Ended up here, been here ever since. So.
Paul Stern, first gig?
I had a couple of stints, but I'm
not talking about your heart. Just want to know,
Michael, when did you develop a sense of humor?
First radio gig is what I'd like to know. Thank you, Sweet Dick. Thank you. Yeah.
No, I think I remember working at a newsroom. I was hired by the famed program director David G. Hall.
Oh, so you worked at a David G. Hall newsroom. I had a college deal, and then my buddy Corky Mayberry gave me my first break at Country KBBQ, the country cooker, playing good country music. So that was
really? Yeah. I didn't know that. How is Corky?
He's, I think hanging in there, doing okay. I haven't talked to him in a few months again. I need to call him, but he's...
Well, tell him you talked to me, and give him my best regards. I mean that.
He's a good man. Now, Sweet Dick, you, amazing career and stuff, but I remember as a younger guy, you were also involved in boxing, am I right?
Yeah.
How old were you when you started to box?
14.
Wow.
And I was using somebody else's license. I was an amateur at that point in time, but I wouldn't have been allowed to box under the New York State Commission laws. So I borrowed someone else's birth certificate, and so I suppose 12, but that was PALCYO stuff. And then when I went into the Army, I boxed both for the Army and professionally over in Japan. For some reason, they liked me over there, and I could draw a crowd. And I did rather well over there until I got in against some good people, really good people, and I got my ass handed to me.
You're smiling at that one, Scott St. James.
Well, that's been known to happen.
But once a competitor, here's the guy, Sweet Dick Whittington, and I'm sure he's over 50 now these days. But you told me you still work out. You're still at the gym or something. Tell us, you were telling me off the air that somebody wanted you to manage him. I mean, obviously, watching you work out, you still go through a pretty intense workout.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, for a guy my age. As I mentioned to you before, a kid was watching me, and he came up and he said, you know anything about boxing? I said, yes, I do, etc. And he said, I need a manager. And I said, well, can you fight? And I said, what did you think a manager entails? Well, he said, I really don't want anything from you. I don't want money, but I do want to fight. I think I would have a future in boxing. And so I said, well, I tell you what, why don't you and I get in the ring? I mean, I was scared, I tell you, because I hadn't done that in such a long time. Butterflies on my stomach, all of the armor that you needed. And I got in and sparred 3 minutes with him, and it was fun. I mean, the kid really wouldn't have gone much further than that gym. But I just enjoyed doing that at 85. I mean, that was something. My heart was pumping. I had a headache afterwards, but it was such
only
fun
you
to
would do that, Sweet Dick. That's the kind of guy you are. You actually got in the boxing ring against this. What do you enjoy doing now? Obviously, you're not on the air. We wish you were, but have you entertained ideas of doing like little features or something? Or what? You used to be a big tennis fan. I know. You still playing?
Yeah.
You still?
Yeah, I still play tennis. I play 3 times a week, doubles, not singles. Now I enjoy myself. I feel very fortunate. I think I'm very lucky in my life because of the kind of a person that I am. I'm a little bit too independent. I'm a little bit snarky. Well, you know that. We worked together for a long time. And I can be a pain in the ass. I'm well aware of that.
Only once that I can remember. For the most part, you and I always got along quite well, as I recall. You're very one of the nice guys in the business. But you did run your own ship. When you were running a radio show, you were in charge of that show. And I think most of the great talents always were in charge. They didn't let somebody, even a program director, tell them what to do. They listened and they said, yes, yes, yes. And then you used to go in there and do it the way you wanted to do it anyway.
Michael, excuse me. I just want to add something here. Just listening to what I'm hearing here, that jumps out at me right now is that it is obvious that you and Paul and Sweet Dick, all of you guys, you learned what you needed to learn right now, and you have all continued to do that, and that is why you have all been very, very successful. And Michael, you're right. Those who struck it rich and did well, we did it. It's not like the Sinatra thing said.
Yeah,
I did it my way. Well, I did it my way, and it's obviously you guys did your way. Most people didn't, don't, never will. But those who did do it that way, we're still around.
Yes, yes, we are. Are you working, by the way, Scott?
Thanks a lot. After a great comment like that, yes, he's here Fridays.
No.
No, but Scott is now doing acting. Scott does acting now.
This guy.
Yeah.
I like this guy. I'll tell you something on that, and then we'll get off of me. My God, we can't be talking about.
Yes, we are. It's all about you today.
No,
yes,
we can't do that.
Yes, we can.
But I think what he says is right. But I didn't get rich on it. I was fired many, many, many times, and I walked out of six-figure jobs. And I'm not proud of that. I mentioned that because I thought I was always right. Well, maybe I proved I was always right, Scott, but I tell you, I live a very lower middle-class life. And I'm not unhappy about that, but at the same time, everybody, like Howard Stern, for example, and a few others that we know of, I didn't get rich. But I can honestly say, and I suppose maybe you can too, I can honestly say that if I were to drop dead right now, I can look back and say, well, yes, I made a lot of mistakes. I made some enemies. And at the same time, I'm sorry about that. But I'm glad that I just did things the way I did them because that's what I always wanted to do, from a boy into manhood and a profession. I just did what I wanted to do, and I realized I was pissing a lot of people off, but I knew it was my only chance. It was the only thing I knew that I did rather
But you were entertaining a lot of people along the way.
Yeah. You remember Suicide Bob, by the way?
One of our great callers on the show, Suicide Bob, would call in with a different problem each week. And you made him a character on your show, Sweet Dick, one of the great bits of all time. Take whatever is there and make it your own, is what I say. And I wonder how Suicide Bob, maybe you'll give us a call. We got some comments from Scott St. James, more with Sweet Dick Whittington, straight ahead on CRN.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free and home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-351-8614. That's 800-351-8614. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-351-8614.
Boy, these theme shows, now I know why Merv Griffin did them. Let's have a theme show. It's like, now I know why Merv Griffin did these theme shows. They just fly by here on the Friday PM Show. I'm Michael Horn. Scott St. James is with us. Paul Stern. Sweet Dick Whittington, our wonderful esteemed guest, and we're just kind of reminiscing. And just before the break, Scott St. James, you were going to make a comment.
Yeah, 2 words. No regrets.
No regrets.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good, Scott. That really is good.
I guess you could have gotten
we
that
go
in.
around sucking our thumbs thinking, if only we had blah, 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 blah. Well, we didn't, so there's not much we can do about it.
That's right.
No regrets whatsoever, and you kind of did.
No.
Also, you guys, a lot, and Paul, you and I as well, I mean, we kind of came up in the era where there were some dollars in radio, but not overwhelming dollars. And then there was this boom period where they have the syndicated guys that make a lot. Still, some of the local guys didn't make as much.
No.
And it's kind of like baseball. You know, I talked to some of the greats like Maury Wills, and Maury's like 80 some odd years of age. And I said, Maury, he was going to an all-star game, and we had him on as a guest, and he was at the, this is a Sweet Dick Whittington bit. He is talking to us on his cell phone as he's driving into Anaheim Stadium, and they're asking him for $8 for parking. And I said, Maury, would you tell the guy you're the great Maury Wills and just let you pass and park your damn car? And so then he goes in, and we talked about the difference in the All-Star games. And I said, you know what, Maury, you probably watch this and get perturbed that you'd get in there and play. And he said, yes, absolutely yes. And you guys, I'm sure, Sweet Dick Whittington, you feel the same way. You still got it?
Nah. No, not really. No,
I think you'd be back in shape in 2 weeks. You'd have it.
No, not really, Michael. No, I don't even delude myself. What happens when you get to where I am, and anyone who gets into the 80s, your mind blanks and you get scared. I sometimes have butterflies in my stomach, even when I'm on the phone. It's a strange and terrible time getting old, I can tell you. It's not fun at all. And I couldn't and I wouldn't, because that would be embarrassing, not only to me, but people who might have listened to me would be thinking, oh God, how sad that he's doing this. So well, you've heard people who've tried to come back, and it never works. You know?
Yeah, but I don't buy that with you. You're kind of sort of a stream of consciousness guy. You always are prepared. You write a bit or two like you did here before the beginning of the show, and that's the key. You want to be prepared to do something. Scott St. James, you're the same kind of way. You kind of gravitated here into acting and stuff, so you have the written spoken word there on a script when you're doing it, but you always prepare too for a show, correct?
Yeah, there are different things that can pop up too, and Sweet Dick, I understand what you're saying about, you know, that more often than not, maybe nothing's going to happen. However, if the right thing comes along, and I'm going to give you an example here. Yes, from time to time, I'm fortunate enough to do a little bit of acting, but stuff I've been doing quite a bit here lately.
Good.
And that's in the documentary area, and this is off camera, doing documentary. So if you get the right thing, I guarantee you'll come in there and just be kicking rear ends all over the place and do it real well. Because the most recent documentary I did was a 92-page thing, but
really,
but no camera. No camera, so there's plenty of time. I got a director there. They can just, you know, be very, very patient, get it done. Everybody's happy, and I'll guarantee you they're going to come back and get you again.
No camera, because Scott St. James wears a lucha libre mask when he goes out in public. That's why they're not on it. Look at Scott. I love it when you're like this, Scott. The old Scott is back. You're like jamming it in there.
Well,
jammer.
yeah, but on a thing like the documentaries, you don't have to worry about, you know, you got to be over here. No, I'm sitting there, man. I'm just banging out stuff here, you know, whatever. And when the day is over, $20, $30, $40, $50,000. Thank you. When's the next one?
Wait a minute. You make it.
Wait a minute.
Paul Stern just woke up on that one. What do you mean $20, $30, $40,000? Are you making that kind of money?
No, I'm not. Well, no, that's
Sweet
true.
Dick, you want to get back in the business?
That's not Sweet Dick six figures, but still, I'll take it.
The tape. Yes, I want to get back. For that kind of money.
You do get paid for these things. You get paid for these things that, you know,
really?
and again, off camera, and you got a good director in there, and then they put it out, and they're real happy that they're going to want you back.
Yeah.
I worked for a place like that, and I got paid that $30, $40, and they hired some thugs to kind of roll me in the parking lot to get the money back.
I can tell you a story also. The last commercial I got, and this goes back many, many years, but, I mean, things were not going well at all for me, and so I got a call from a friend of mine who had a Spanish agency. And he said, "Would you want to do a spot for?" I can't remember what the hell it was for, but
Photomat. I think it was. Wasn't it Photomat?
No. It was something weird. But I said, "Well, okay." And it paid $50, and I said, "Okay." And so I drove down into South Los Angeles.
Yes.
And it was a house.
Yeah.
Now, here's the story. There was a microphone placed over the toilet, and I'm not kidding you. And so what I had to do this spot, it was just the bathroom light.
Yes.
And I had to read the spot while leaning over the tank, of the commode, of course, and then into the tank in order to get to the microphone, because the microphone was by the tank. And because of the acoustics the guy sold.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm not kidding. That's so far-fetched a story that it has to be true. And it is true. And that's when I realized, Dick, I think it's over.
You're talking into a toilet tank. I mean, come on. Everybody used the bathroom shower, but the toilet tank. That Spanish gentleman, how is Senor Wenceslaus? Is he still okay? All right. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. One more.
Nice to know I'm not the only one around a toilet.
That must have been the Kohler account.
Okay. All right. You're all topped. That you get all of you get a little rim shot there. Thank you so much. We'll continue straight ahead on CRN. It's the PM Show Weekend Edition with the great Sweet Dick Whittington.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. Attention men who've taken Androgel or any other testosterone therapy products. Androgel or other low-T products have been linked to heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, even death. Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or a testosterone therapy product and suffered from a heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event, you might be entitled to financial compensation. You have rights, and you need to let us fight for your rights. And you pay no fees unless we win. So call the tort attorneys right now. 800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. That's 800-557-7921. Cases may be referred to participating law firms in your jurisdiction.
PM Show Weekend Edition, CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn. Scott St. James is here as always on the Weekend Edition. Paul Stern is here on the Weekend Edition. And a newcomer here, a new youngster to the radio business, Mr. I believe Dick Whittington, calls himself Sweet Dick Whittington. Quite the radio personality and talk radio. We should mention, by the way, that you were big in San Francisco. You were in Oakland. You were at KSFO in San Francisco. You were at many years in Southern California at KGIL 1260. You made that station what it was, Sweet Dick. You were at KMPC and KABC and KIEV and KFI, where you and I worked together with the great Biggie Nevins at AM 640. I mean, quite a storied career. And I'll never forget the time at KFI when you went out for a smoke. I believe they weren't allowing smoking, and you walked out onto the roof and locked yourself on top of the crushed rock roof, and everybody was looking for you, and they couldn't find you.
Well, you don't know the rest of that story.
What's the rest of the story?
I was up there with little girl Biggie's secretary. You remember her, Sally?
Oh, yeah, Sally.
Yeah,
Sally Marquez, that's right.
We were up there, yes. I mean, oh, very good. We were up there making out.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? So it wasn't a cigarette break?
No, cigarette.
Oh.
No.
You got Tomas smiling. It's the first time Tomas has smiled the whole show. He likes that.
Oh, yeah, we're having a good time.
Yeah, it was good up there. People could not find you. I think you had to throw rocks at the window to get somebody's attention.
Finally. It did, of course, with her, it didn't take long, about 3 minutes, so I really wasn't going that long. And that was some of my best time.
This is your time up on the roof. Thank you so much. Go.
Michael, I know. I
want to, Michael, can I get in here for just a second and say something?
Yes.
Because I don't get down there at all. So many people have gone. So many people have died. Did either you or Scott, or did you both go to the Gary Owens funeral?
No, I wanted to, and I was out of town and missed it. But Gary Owens was a great friend of this show, and we had him on so many times. Gary Owens, a great radio talent.
Yeah.
Al Lohman, Roger Barkley.
Yeah.
I mean, the list is going on and on and on here. Bob Steinbrink, one of the great news announcers, just passed away this week from KMPC. I mean, back in the day of radios, everybody had like this is Bob Steinbrink. Kind of, you knew he was telling you the news. It's not like it sounded like Scott.
It was very good, very good, a very nice guy. As I know, I didn't know that. It's very sad. I know I won't be depressing you, but I was just thinking before we came on the air that how many people are left of our time?
Three. Scott, you, and myself. No, I'm saying it's dwindling, Sweet Dick. It really is. And it's sad.
Johnny Magnus, is he still around?
The host who loves you the most. The weather with a B. He's still around. He's there. We got to get Johnny on. That's good. Roger Carroll. Here's the guy we got to get on. RC, the best sounds in town. Roger Carroll is around. We got to get him on the air, too.
And that's a good idea. Roger Carroll gives me an impression he'd love to be on.
Yes, he would. Roger Carroll is a good man. We got to get him on the show. Who else? We got to get a few others.
Well, I got to look, because we're almost finished here. You know, when we get somebody like this guy on the air right now, this to me has just been terrific, because this guy is the real deal. This guy right here, this guy that we've had on the air today.
Are you looking at me, Scott? Or are you talking about Sweet Dick?
We already know you are, but Sweet Dick,
he is the best.
People like this. I mean, this is just great. I mean, it just really is.
Can I say something to you? I'm gay. Would you be interested?
Well, I'm glad you finally asked.
There you have it. There's the show. Sweet Dick, we want to have you back very soon. Sweet Dick Whittington.
I won't ever come back.
Thank you so much. I would love to hear that.
Thank you.
Scott St. James, will you ever come back on the show? Okay, then keep laughing. Paul Stern, you'll be back, won't you?
Yeah, I have no career.
I'll be back.
Thank you, and I'll be back as well, too. If you missed anything, go to our website at crntalk.com. Got the shows archived. You can listen to the show throughout the weekend. We're here Monday through Friday at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern with some great shows on CRN. Thanks to Sweet Dick Whittington. Thanks to you, Scott, and you, Paul. Thanks to Tomas for pressing the buttons and our executive producer, Courtney Cadera. I'm Michael Horn. Have a great weekend. Stand by. The grand old man of broadcasting on most of these stations is following up. The Hall of Famer, Mr. Barry Farber, talking about some of the legendary greats, coming your way next on CRN.
Yeah, I know that name.
He's a good man.
Yeah, I don't know that.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation. And you can listen to us on nearly any platform and device. Download to your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry episodes of What's Cookin'. And take Master Sommelier Michael Jordan with you to the wine shop so he can help you pick out that perfect bottle of wine. Stream episodes of the Sonoma Wine Report through our CRN app, TuneIn Radio, Nobex, Stitcher, UTunes, or AHA Radio, and start planning that unforgettable weekend in the wine country. They're in your corner on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and many other apps. And of course, you can always listen live through your local cable TV provider, as well as on our website at crntalk.com. For more information on where to listen to these great shows, along with many others, log on to crntalk.com and create your own listening